and I got Mr. Brandon Weathers here. If you're familiar with face, I'll put it this way: Brotar, search for Vanity's Fiend. I'm gonna leave it like that.
Yeah.
But we had to get his deck profile here. He did go X3, but he did play something that was very unique, and he made day 2 with it. And how many cash players were upset when they played?
I played. Only one of my matches wasn't cash. I played cash basically all day. So a lot of them are pretty salty because the combo, if you do it right, it'll make it where they can't play. So it's pretty good. That's pretty good.
We just do the combo at the end of the video.
Yeah,
but go ahead and show us deck profile. He was playing.
So I play PK. So the Fatal Ninja is broken. So I'll just kind of go over it. So it's 3 Twin Scales, 3 Boots, 1 Cloak, 1 Greaves, and 1 Gloves. I didn't think you needed any more of this. You could recycle it. You have Levier and stuff like that. And there's not too many times where you'll need the second one of this. The third one of this. A lot of times you'll Levier this back, so it's fine. The game a lot of times is over before you need to get to the third one, so it just never pops up. I also played the Adventure package. So I played 2 Water Enchanters and then just a Griffin Rider. I didn't want to play 3 of this just because I didn't want to get drolled. And I just didn't want to open multiple copies of it. And you can always get to it because of Cherubini. So there's never a situation where you need to have 3 to see it because you can always see it. So it's just a random extender in 1 Drug 4. This card's nice so you can... it was better before when people like Lancing you, so you can still play, but this also just really good because there's times where you draw cards that you don't want in your hand, and you can put them back into the deck and then be able to play with this. The free summons, just the 2 Psychics, and then 1 of each of these dangers. It's basically rank 3 toolbox, and link 3 toolbox, so you need like all of this stuff to be able to do that. But yeah. We also play the BA stuff. You really just play this for really going second, so you can use it to crack the board. But again, it also gives you a play under draw. So like if they draw you and you go Cherubini, you do this, you can still do the play. And you still end on a pretty massive board. Draw actually doesn't hurt that bad. If they have draw in combination with like Shifter, then that hurts. But it's really more so the Shifter than anything else.
2 minutes have passed.
Hand traps. I didn't want to play these, but like you had to play 3 draw just because everybody's searching. If you don't play it, you're probably gonna lose. So like you need it. And the Gamma package. There's this cool combo where you can go Cherubini into Lambda and then bring the Cherubini back because of the Seer and then keep going. And then if you have a Gamma in your hand, it can't hit you. So there's a whole bunch of like crazy stuff you can do. That's it for the monsters. For the spells, 3 Utility, 2 Rights, 1 of that, 1 of this, 1 Call Grave, obviously, Foolish, and then Loader. I almost wanted to cut this because I just didn't want to play in a draw if I didn't have to. But like you just need this to sometimes fix your hand. So, and then last thing is just the traps. 3 Fall Blade. This card is absurd. This is probably one of the best cards in your deck. This Monster Reborn, can attack, and negates the effect. It's like the best card you can ask for. 1 of this for the recursion, and then the trap. So, that's it for the main deck. It was 42. I guess I'll show you extra deck. So the Rusty, obviously, 1 Lambda, Cherubini. This card's a cost. So for anybody who's wanting to know about this deck, if your opponent summons this, just don't do anything to it. Because you can't stop it. It's a cost. So just let them do whatever they're going to do with it.
How many times someone tried to ash that
People tried to ash it. People tried to impermanent. Somebody tried to ogre. And if they try to ogre, you have E-Telly, you just chain the E-Telly. Because its continuous effect says if it would be destroyed, send something else. That doesn't activate, it's continuous. So you can always just protect it. It's just absurd. 1 Dark, access to kill your opponent, Unicorn. This card's nuts because of IP. You can make it on your opponent's turn in the middle when they can't play. And then for the Exceeds, 1 Break Sword, 1 Levier. This is like the best card in your extra deck. I was making this card all weekend. That's how the cash decks can't beat you. Because if you summon this against the cash deck, the only way they can beat you is to have the spell that lets the normal summon. Otherwise, they have to special, you put it face down. And if they can play into it, then you Fall Blade whatever monster can kill it, and they have to play into it again. Because it's not once per turn. Against the super heavy whatever deck, when they go Pendulum, you detach 1 material and all of their cards go face down. It counts a monster or monsters. It's not once per turn either. So it's pretty nuts. You have to play this because of the break sword stuff, so you can kill your opponent. It comes up a lot. Especially if you get nibbed, they'll give you a huge nib token, so you'll just summon this, it'll gain the attack of everything, you'll just kill it. and then the Zeus to clear the board. Last card was Omega. Because you play the Gammas and the Lambda, this comes up a lot. I actually did this quite a few times. It's a little cheeky combo where you can Gamma them, make this under Lambda, rip a card out of their hand, Lambda will trigger in phase, grab another Gamma, so you'll have a Gamma again on their turn. And then when this comes back, you can just put your stuff back in grave. So it's pretty nuts. And then for the side deck, it was just 3 of this, 3 of those, the 3 Dark Ruler, 1 of this, 3 evenly matched, and then 2 anti-spell. The theory behind this is you don't really lose to draw and stuff. A lot of times the only way you lose is for them Dark Rolling you. So you'll side your draws out, you side into this, and so the only way they can beat your Dark Roller. So if you have this, you'll win. But that happened a lot of the times where I won. This also is pretty cool because if you open 2, which I did, you can give this to somebody, and then if you summon this, it's a dark. So you use it to make Rusty. And so like you can just keep playing. So like the deck overall was really, really good. I think Cash getting hit makes it more playable. But I don't know what the format's going to turn into, but I think that's really good. So tons of recursion. You can kill your opponent with just about anything as long as they again they don't shift to you. And you can play through like multiple hand traps. There's so many times I got like hand trapped 2 or 3 times, and I still ended on full combo. That's really nuts.
Combo real quick?
Yeah. It's pretty easy. It's just like basically any 2 cards is game basically. And it really doesn't matter what they are, as long as they're 2 level 3s. So like, you can literally just have those 2 cards. And like, I'll just draw 3 random cards, doesn't matter what it is. Okay, like whatever, who cares? So you basically just go summon, make Cherubini. Cherubini's effects will cost. You send wherever my water enchantress is. Send this. Vanish, get this, activate. So it's really important to put the token in the very last zone. The reason you want to do that is if there's a point where you want to be able to make Griffin Rider, you want your Griffin, if there's a combo where you want to end on Nightmare Griffin, you want to make sure your Griffin Rider is in a zone pointing next to the Griffin so you don't turn your own cards off. So it's super important to put this all the way out of the way. So you just want to keep that in mind. So that gets that. Do this, and then you can go search monster. Pitch whatever, it doesn't really matter what you pitch. Summon this, trigger this to get the spell. So then you banish the BA to search the trap card. This will trigger. And then when you summon this, use this effect, pitch this now that's in your hand. To send this. And then now that'll trigger to put itself back into this. Then you can have this. So you don't have any traps in grave still. Make Rusty, and then you use the Rusty in the toolbox or whatever you didn't already have to finish. And so ultimately what you'll end up doing is, and then you'll make break sword basically. But long story short, ultimately what you'll do is you'll end up break swording itself under this, popping this, these come back as level 4s, and then you make Evil Swarm Nightmare. And then you'll have the Fog Blades and stuff that you got to set off Rusty. So then generally you'll end on this, and then because you have because when this goes to grave, it'll turn your trap back on, you'll end with double book, double Fog Blade, negate on this, and then a pop on their turn. And then if you have an extender, you can also make an IP here. So one of the plays is you can summon this back, pop one of their cards, then make this into IP and keep going. And the deck is crazy because it literally toolboxes anything. Also, if you open
links into the
Griffin Rider. And so when you summon Griffin Rider, you'll summon it here. So now this is pointing to this, and you still have the free zone open. So if you haven't needed to Rusty Pop, you can still do that now because you've left your zone open for the break sword to come back. And then like if you have Gamma, you do the exact same combo, but instead use the IP and any monster to make the Lambda. So then you can Gamma Lambda them. So if you think you're gonna do that though, what you'll do is you'll summon this in the main monster zone, and then you do the combo that way. So it's nuts. A lot of decks can't play through this. This beats everything. The Pilum deck can't play through it. The Cash deck again can't play through it. And you definitely can't play through it if you have this. And then by doing it with IP, you also make it where you can't get evenly matched. Because if you think they have evenly matched, you just IP and link this off. So now you don't have to keep the token because it's gone now. You can choose what you want to keep, and they can't do anything with it. So
very insightful.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I would say try it out. It's the decision tree on it is huge. That's why it's good. Like you have so many options to play. It just makes it where like your opponent has to respect this stuff, like the adventure stuff. And if the adventure stuff walks, everything will walk because Griffin Runner will negate it. If they hand trap this, then your Rusty combo is gonna walk because they don't have anything left now because they've wasted everything on this. And now you'll have follow up. And so like you basically your opponent's either gonna simplify the game state and you're gonna beat them because you're gonna have more cards than they have cards to play, or they're not gonna negate anything and you're gonna lock them out because you're gonna have unbreakable board. So it's like pick your poison. How do you want to lose? That's why like all of my losses today were literally only because my opponent had Shifter. That was literally what my losses were. They had Shifter and either I had Gamma or they had Shifter, I Gamma their Shifter, and they would have a Gamma for my Gamma. It was like, nothing I can do about that. Like, you got it. So.
A searchable guy, but they limit Gamma instead of the Shifter. Great job, Konami.
Yeah,
great job.
I think you just have to play cross-out now if you want to play like decks like this, which suck. But other than that, it was good. I enjoyed the weekend. I haven't played it like forever. This is my first tournament, probably almost a year. So, because I really don't play that much anymore. So, but it was nice to see everybody again and kind of hang out.
Oh, so will we be seeing you more in the future?
Maybe. I don't know. I always say that I'm gonna quit and I take time away and the format changes when I come back. And I wasn't a huge fan of the Cash deck, so I didn't want to play. But now that the deck's kind of like tapering off, maybe. Also, Draco Face Off going to 3 is kind of interesting, so I might mess around with that. So maybe.
Kind of tempting, ain't it?
Yeah, very much so. Probably.
We'll see.
Probably.
All right then, guys. Thank you again for the profile, Brandon. Till next time, guys.
Of course, yeah.
Peace.